Give yourself 6 months. 6 months of pure focus, 6 months of putting your head down and doing the work, 6 months of no excuses, no distractions, no drama. And I promise you, everything in your life can look completely different. 6 months may not sound like much, but most people waste 6 years waiting for the perfect time, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone to save them, waiting for a sign. This is your sign. This is your chance. This is your time. If you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done. So let's talk about what happens when you finally decide to take your life seriously for just 6 months. Part 1, go all in. No halfway, no maybe. If you want to change your life in 6 months, let me tell you the most important rule right now. You cannot be halfway in and expect full results. You can't say, I'll try, and expect transformation. You can't say, I'll see how it goes and expect your life to level up. This is not a game of chance. This is a decision. The kind that says, I'm not dipping my toes in anymore. I'm diving head first. You have to lock in mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Whatever your goal is, your body, your money, your purpose, your peace, you have to stop flirting with progress and finally marry your commitment to it. No more maybe later mindset. Maybe I'll start next week. Maybe I'll be more focused next month. Maybe I just need to wait for the right time. Let me be real with you. Maybe it's the language of delay. Maybe it's the excuse of the undisciplined. Maybe it's how dreams die slow deaths. There is no perfect moment. There is no green light. There is only right now. The version of you that's stuck in the same place, they got there by waiting. The version of you that's about to rise, they get there by deciding. So decide, not half-heartedly, not conditionally, but with full conviction. Treat this like survival, because it is. If your life depended on it, if your future depended on it, if your peace, your health, your self-worth depended on it, would you still approach your goals casually? No. You'd fight. You'd push. You'd wake up earlier. You'd stay up later. You'd stop wasting time. You'd move like you have something to prove. Guess what? Your life does depend on it, because if you don't show up now, you might look back a year from today and realize you wasted another year doing nothing different. And if that thought scares you, good. It should. Use that fear. Let it fuel your fire. People who win aren't always the smartest. They're the most committed. Success doesn't go to the smartest or the most talented. It goes to the ones who show up even when no one's clapping. The ones who keep going even when motivation fades. The ones who say, I don't care how I feel today, I made a promise to myself and I'm keeping it. Going all in means becoming non-negotiable about your goals. Not if I feel like it. Not if everything aligns perfectly. But regardless of how tired you are, how hard it feels, or how long it takes. If you're going to change your life in 6 months, you have to get serious. This isn't a hobby anymore. This is your breakthrough. This is your rebirth. Burn the backup plan. Here's the raw truth. As long as you keep a backup plan, you'll never fully commit to the main one. As long as you keep saying, if this doesn't work, I'll try something else, you've already given yourself permission to fail. Going all in means there's no plan B. There's only make it happen. If you're trying to get in shape, stop negotiating with the snooze button. If you're building a business, stop asking for permission to go after your vision. If you want to elevate your mindset, stop spending your time with people who keep you stuck. Go all in. Go with fire. Go with discipline. Even when no one claps. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when it looks like nothing's working. Because every time you show up, you're planting seeds. And in 6 months, that harvest will change everything. Part 2, cut the noise. If you want to change your life in 6 months, you don't just need focus. You need fierce focus. And you'll never have fierce focus if your life is filled with noise. What kind of noise? People's opinion. Endless notifications. Mindless scrolling. Comparing yourself online. Arguing over nonsense. pleasing everyone but yourself. The world is loud, and if you don't turn it down, you'll never hear your own calling. Your future requires silence, not distraction. You know what most people do when life gets quiet? They reach for their phone. They drown in entertainment. They scroll, watch, refresh, repeat. Why? Because silence makes them uncomfortable. Because when the noise stops, they finally have to face themselves. And most people aren't ready for that. But that silence, that's where your clarity is. That's where your breakthrough begins. Distraction is the enemy of direction. And in these next 6 months, you need direction like never before. You don't need another trend. You don't need more motivation clips. You need space to think. You need mental quiet so your intuition can speak. So cut the noise. Turn down the volume on the outside so you can turn up the volume on the inside. Audit your inputs. You become what you consume. What are you feeding your mind every day? Because you can't grow while watching other people's highlight reels. You can't build discipline if your timeline is filled with distractions. You can't focus on your purpose while you're drowning in opinions, drama, and clickbait. Every scroll, every video, every voice, you're letting that into your mental space. So ask yourself, is this helping me grow or just keeping me busy? Is this inspiring me or distracting me? Is this feeding my vision or feeding my fear? Your energy is sacred. Stop handing it to anything that doesn't serve your purpose. Protect your peace like a fortress. In the next 6 months, you have to become ruthless about what you allow in. That means turning off notifications that don't matter, muting or unfollowing people who drain you, saying no to conversations that don't align, not responding to every text, call, or opinion. You don't owe anyone your attention. You don't owe anyone your presence when your future is calling. This is your focus era. This is your breakthrough season. And every ounce of energy you waste on distractions is energy you steal from your goals. So guard your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Not everyone deserves front row access to your process. Let me tell you something important. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need to update people on your goals. You don't need to defend your silence. Sometimes growth looks like disappearing for a while. Sometimes healing looks like less talking and more walking. Sometimes self-love looks like protecting your journey from people who don't even understand the direction. Your focus is sacred, your process is personal, and your peace is more important than their opinions. So if you have to go ghost for 6 months, go ghost. If you have to fall off the radar to level up, fall off. Because when you come back, you won't need to explain anything. Your results will speak so loud they'll silence every doubt. Part 3, work on yourself like your life depends on it. Because it does. Let's get real. You want to change your life in 6 months? Then you have to stop waiting for the world to give you something and start building yourself into someone who no longer needs to wait. Your life doesn't change by accident, it changes by design. And the architect is you. This is the season where you put all the energy you've been giving to distractions, to people, to excuses, and pour it back into you. No one's coming to save you, so you better save yourself. Too many people sit around hoping maybe life will get better. Maybe someone will give me a break. Maybe things will magically shift. But here's the truth. No one is coming, not to motivate you, not to fix your habits, not to drag you to the gym or force you to get focused. You have to look in the mirror and realize, if this is going to change, I have to change it. You have to become the hero of your own story, not the victim, not the side character, not the one waiting to be rescued. You become dangerous in the best way when you decide to stop waiting and start becoming. The work isn't just physical, it's internal. This isn't just about the grind. This is about your mind. Because you can work hard and still be stuck if your mindset is broken. So in the next 6 months, you need to upgrade you from the inside out. Rewire the way you think. Challenge the beliefs that keep you small. Break the mental loops of I'm not good enough, I always fail, or it's too late. Replace every doubt with action. Replace every fear with focus. You can't outrun a broken mindset. You have to face it, fix it, and forge something stronger. Build the habits that build the life. Who you become in 6 months depends on what you do every day. It's not the big wins. It's the small, unglamorous choices. Waking up early, even when you're tired. Saying no to distractions, even when it's tempting. Showing up when no one's clapping. Reading instead of scrolling. Speaking kindly to yourself instead of tearing yourself down. These don't seem big in the moment, but they build. They turn you into someone unrecognizable. The strongest version of you is built in silence, one disciplined habit at a time. Grow in the dark so you can shine in the light. Understand this. Transformation is quiet. You'll outgrow people silently. You'll get stronger without posting it. You'll become wiser without shouting about it. The world may not notice right away. But one day, 6 months from now, they'll look at you and say, "What happened to you?" And you'll smile because you'll know you finally started choosing yourself. You stopped waiting. You stopped hiding. You stopped sabotaging. And you started doing the work like your life depended on it, because it does. This is about becoming someone you're proud of. This isn't about proving anything to anyone else. This is about looking in the mirror 6 months from now and saying, "I showed up. I kept going when it was hard. I respected myself enough to grow. I didn't let fear win this time." Or give yourself that gift, that pride, that version of you who walks taller, speaks with more clarity, and lives with peace because they put in the work. Work on yourself like your life depends on it, because it does, because your future is counting on the decisions you make today. And you're strong enough to build it. Part 4, stop waiting for support. Let's talk about one of the hardest truths to accept on your journey. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hold your hand. No one is going to cheer you on every step of the way. And that's okay, because the people who win in life aren't the ones who were handed everything. They're the ones who kept moving even when no one clapped. Your growth isn't a group project. You keep waiting for someone to believe in you, to understand you, to support your dream, to check in and ask, "How's it going? Do you need help? I'm proud of you." But what if they never say that? What if they never show up? Will you still go all in? Because if the answer is no, then your commitment is conditional, and you'll always be a prisoner to other people's validation. This journey is yours. No one else was assigned your vision. So stop expecting people to get excited about something they were never called to do. People won't see the vision until you make it real. They don't support you because they can't see what you see. They haven't felt your pain. They haven't heard your inner voice at 2 a.m. when you told yourself, "This can't be all there is to my life." So how can they support a vision that was never theirs to carry? It's not their fault, but it's also not your job to wait for them. Your job is to build it, brick by brick, quietly, until one day, the same people who doubted you start asking you how you did it. Stop expecting applause for a process they don't understand. People will doubt you. People will laugh. People will go silent when you're struggling, then reappear when you win. Don't let that distract you. Their support was never required. Your discipline is your consistency. Your inner fire is your ability to keep going without applause, without attention, without recognition. That's what makes you unstoppable. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will happen in silence, when no one's watching, when no one's helping, when it's just you and the decision to not give up become your own support system. You've spent too long waiting for someone to believe in you. Now it's time to believe in yourself more than anyone else ever has. Be your own motivation. Be your own accountability partner. Be your own voice of reason. Be your own biggest fan. Wake up and tell yourself, "I got me. I'm not going back. I'm not waiting on love, on applause, on understanding. I'm moving forward with or without it." That's power. That's growth. That's what separates dreamers from doers. The more you wait, the more you waste. Every minute you spend waiting on someone to support you is a minute you could be investing in becoming someone they can't ignore. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need backup. You just need one decision. I'm going to show up, even if it's just me. Because here's the truth. The people who said they'd always be there, some of them won't be. And the people you never expected, some of them will quietly watch, take notes, and admire your resilience from a distance. But whether they show up or not, you will. Let their silence fuel you, not stop you. One day, when you've made it, when your life looks nothing like it used to, when your name is respected and your presence is powerful, you'll look back and thank the version of you who didn't fold when no one clapped, who didn't shrink when support disappeared, who didn't quit when it got lonely, because that's who built the life you're now living. So stop waiting, start moving, and become someone who no longer needs support because they've become the support they were waiting for. Part 5, stay consistent even when it's boring. Let me tell you something that most people will never say out loud. Success is boring. Change is boring. Growth? Boring too? Not all the time, but enough to make most people quit. Why? Because they expect motivation to carry them. They expect transformation to feel exciting every day. They expect every step to feel like progress. But the truth is, it won't. There will be days when it feels like nothing is happening. When you're tired, when your efforts feel invisible, when your results don't show, when it's just you, your plan, and your discipline. Discipline is doing it even when you're over it. Consistency is showing up when you don't feel like it. Not once, not twice, but every single day, even when there's no fire, no hype, no audience. Go to the gym when you don't want it. Show up to work on your craft when your energy's low. Say no to old habits even when they're tempting. Stick to the plan even when you're bored of the plan. Winners get bored. They just don't quit. Because the ones who change their lives are not the most talented. They're the most committed. They're the ones who show up, rain or shine, because they know emotions come and go, but consistency compounds. You're not failing. You're just in the middle. Let me be clear. The boring part, that's the middle. That's the part where you've left the old life behind, but the new life hasn't fully arrived yet. And in the middle, doubt creeps in. You start asking, is this working? Why isn't anything happening? Should I quit and try something else? But this is not the time to switch plans. This is the time to trust the plan, because the middle isn't proof you're off track. It's proof you're in process. The seed doesn't sprout the day it's planted, and success doesn't show the day you start being consistent. But if you stop watering it, you'll never see it bloom. Master the mundane. That's where growth lives. Everybody wants the big win. Everybody wants the highlight moment. But you know where the real magic happens? In the reps no one sees. In the early mornings and late nights. In the I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. In the day after day after day of showing up with no applause. That's where transformation is forged. That's where the average fall off and the committed rise. You don't need more motivation. You need to become the kind of person who keeps going without it. Don't chase excitement. Chase completion. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a lifestyle. And if you're always chasing excitement, you'll keep quitting every time it gets routine. But the pros, the greats, the people who actually change their lives, they don't chase feelings. They chase completion. They finish what they start. So ask yourself, can you be consistent when no one's cheering? Can you show up when your mood tells you to rest? Can you repeat your process long enough to see it work? Because your future isn't built on the days you're fired up. It's built on the days you show up anyway. Every brick counts, even the boring ones. You're laying bricks. Every workout, every discipline choice, every hour spent studying, building, training, it's a brick. It may not look like much today, but day after day, week after week, that wall gets higher. That foundation gets stronger. That life gets real. One day people will ask, how did you do it? And you'll answer, I just didn't stop. That's the secret. You kept showing up. Consistency is the price of greatness. So if you want to transform your life in 6 months, you've got to stop chasing motivation and start honoring your commitment. It won't always feel good. It won't always look exciting, but it will work. If you work, be consistent, be relentless, be boring if you have to, because boring is what builds greatness. Part 6, reinvent your life from the inside out. If you want to change everything in 6 months, you have to stop patching the surface and start transforming the core. Because you don't rise by rearranging your schedule. You rise by rebuilding your identity. This isn't about tweaking a few habits. It's about becoming a new version of you. You can't live a new life with the same old mindset. This is where the real shift happens, not outside, but inside. Your life can't change until you do. We've been taught to chase results, more money, better body, better job, a nicer apartment. But if your mind stays stuck in fear, if your soul is still weighed down by doubt, if your identity still screams, I'm not good enough, then none of it lasts. Because the external will always reflect the internal. Your outer world is a mirror of your inner world. And if you want new results, you need a new foundation. But this isn't about pretending. It's about aligning. About choosing to no longer live from wounds, fears, and stories that don't belong to you. Let go of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. If you want to reinvent yourself, here's the first step. Let go. Let go of the old you. The one who procrastinated. The one who made excuses. The one who stayed silent, afraid, small. The one who dimmed their light to keep others comfortable. That version of you got you here, but it won't take you there. So mourn them. If you need to, thank them for surviving. But it's time to move on. Because there's a version of you, stronger, bolder, more focused, that's waiting on the other side of your comfort zone. Reinvention means letting go of your limitations and picking up your potential. Sleep like the person you want to be. Reinvention starts in your mouth. You can't speak like a victim and expect to live like a leader. You can't call yourself lazy or broken and expect to feel powerful. So change your language. Start saying things like, I'm becoming more disciplined every day. I deserve a life that reflects my effort. I may not be there yet, but I'm on the way. I'm showing up, I'm growing, I'm ready. Speak it until your mind believes it. Believe it until your actions prove it. Prove it until your life reflects it. That's how you reinvent. Move like the future you. Now ask yourself, if I were already the person I want to be, how would I move today? Would I hit snooze 5 times? Would I scroll for hours? Would I complain about my circumstances or take full ownership? 6 months is enough to become someone unrecognizable to your old self. If you start aligning your actions with your vision, that means stop waiting. Start moving. Stop doubting. Start building. Stop asking for permission. Start showing up like you already belong. Because the new you isn't created in some distant moment. It's created right now, choice by choice, day by day. Success isn't just what you achieve, it's who you become. Reinvention is not about a title. It's not about status or applause. It's about being able to look in the mirror and say, I respect who I've become. You don't chase success. You become someone who naturally attracts it because of your discipline, your energy, your integrity, your consistency. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. So, become focused, become clear, become stronger, calmer, smarter, more powerful from the inside out. And the life you've been dreaming of, it'll start chasing you. Final closing. The next 6 months start now. Let me leave you with this. 6 months from now, you can be unrecognizable in the best way, more focused than ever, mentally stronger, physically healthier, financially freer, emotionally grounded, spiritually aligned. Or you can be in the same place, still wishing, still waiting, still wondering what could have happened if you just started. You don't need a new year. You don't need a miracle. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need 6 months of relentless focus. 6 months of taking yourself seriously. 6 months of being consistent, even when it's boring. 6 months of working on your mindset like your life depends on it. because it does. You're not stuck. You're just one decision away from becoming the version of you that finally did it. Not someday, not next month. Today, right now, so draw a line in the sand. This is the moment. This is where everything shifts. This is where the old you gets left behind. And the real you steps forward, because 6 months of massive intention can create a life you don't need to escape from ever again.